Hello there. Welcome to Below Deck, brought to you by the Empower SCL Student Leadership Team, where we talk about untold stories in our history.
We are doing this project by reading and discussing Keith Benson's book, The Power and the Glory. We wanted to switch things up by learning more about our true history and then becoming teachers of our history ourselves.
The goal of this project is to give younger viewers the knowledge we feel they should know about their culture.
Conquistadors, privateers, pirates, circa 1519, how the Western Hemisphere was won. The Catholic Church unified Europe. They now commanded followers invade, search out, capture, vanquish, and subdue all Saracens, Muslims, and pagans whatsoever, and other enemies of Christ, and all movable and immovable goods whatsoever held possessed by them, and reduce their persons to perpetual slavery. Pope Nicholas V. Cortez was a conquistador, conqueror from Spain. He too traveled to the New World to get rich via stolen peoples and lands. In 1519, Cortez led 400 men against the Aztec people in Mexico. His war machine overwhelmed native people and soon conquered Mexico City. Like Columbus, Cortez employed dehumanizing domination and the most brutal practices in the name of Christianity to garner personal economic gain. Ponce de Leon, 1521, is said to have been looking for the fountain of youth, but he too was looking for gold and human beings to enslave. He was the first governor of Puerto Rico and the first European to explore Florida. Pedro de Alvarado conquered Guatemala and the Mayan Empire of 1524. Alvarado was an officer with Cortez in Mexico. He was commissioned from Spain to take Guatemala. At first, Alvarado had the support of rival natives, but he was so cruel that even the Mayans' enemies abandoned him. Alvarado was known for hangings, burnings, killing, feeding alive native men to his dogs for food. In 1534, Alvarado heard that there was gold in Peru and made a trip to Peru, but found it under siege by Francisco Pizarro.
Francisco Pizarro moved against the Inca Empire in Peru in the 1530s. Pizarro had a contract with the Spanish crown naming him governor, even before he conquered the Incas. Pizarro captured a leader of Peru, accepted ransom of 13,000 pounds of gold. After receiving ransom, still had the leader executed. They were called conquistadors, but they had so little to conquer. They came to the New World with war machines, steel swords, armor, shields, horses, cannons, firearms, vicious attack dogs, military experience, and endless offensive technology. The native peoples were basically peaceful, had little more than sticks. They had precious little war fighting experience to speak of. Privateers and pirates, circa 1519 to 1699. A pirate is a person who robs or commits violence toward another vessel at sea. Pirates existed since the invention of the boat. However, Pirates of the Caribbean, aka Buccaneers, were a reaction to activities taking place in the New World. The Buccaneer phenomenon may be compared to the drug trade of modern times. Large amounts of illicit money always tend to attract criminal elements, i.e. gangsters. The incredible amounts of gold and other wealth moving through the oceans provided irresistible to seafaring adventurers like Jean Florin, a French naval officer. So in 1523, he attacked a Spanish ship and stole the stolen wealth for himself. Word of his success soon spread, and the Pirates of the Caribbean were born. Francis Drake was a privateer. A privateer is someone with his own ship who will get a commission to work for a government, commercial agency, or business. Francis Drake was secretly commissioned by the British Queen Elizabeth I. Francis Drake is a father of the triangular slave trade. Columbus is father of the Atlantic slave trade. Drake was the first to steal vast numbers of human beings from Africa, transport them to the Caribbean, take the spoils back to Europe, and repeat. Queen Elizabeth invested in John Hawkins' third slave voyage to Africa. Ironically, the name of the Queen's ship was Jesus of Lubeck. Drake was knighted by the Queen.
All this trying to stay woke got me tired. Well, welcome back to Below Deck, our hidden history, where we discuss The Power and the Glory by Keith Benson.
Today we'll be breaking down Part 6, Conquistadors, Privateers, and Pirates.
The Catholic Church unified Europe, now ruling all of their followers.
Hernando Cortez was a conquistador from Spain. He traveled to the New World to steal people in their land.
Ponce de Leon was looking for gold and people to enslave. He was the first governor of Puerto Rico and the first European to explore Florida.
Pedro de
Alvarado.
took over Guatemala and the
Mayan.
Empire. He also got help from rival natives.
Francisco Pizarro moved against Peru in the late 1530s. Pizarro and Spain's government both agreed for him to rule Peru even before he took control of it.
They were called conquistadors, but didn't have a lot to conquer.
Francis Drake was the father of a certain slave trade, where he'd go to Africa, take the people from there, take them to the Caribbean, get the money, and then take it right back to Europe. Things like this were even respected by governments and ruling powers like the Queen.
Francis Drake was a privateer, which is someone with their own ship and worked for the government.
Hashtag stay woke.